Yeah, what a start for the champions. Michael and I, of course, brought you Premier League Live on Friday night from Anfield, where that atmosphere was incredible. However, Gary, a little bit of a scare at 2-2, didn't they?
They got a little bit of a fright. It was a very emotional, obviously prior to the game, paying the respects to Jota. It was the respect shown was amazing. But once the game got underway, and Liverpool went 1 and then went 2 up, I was thinking 3 or 4. But Bournemouth didn't go away. And in fact, I thought on turnovers, when Liverpool gave the ball away cheaply, Bournemouth looked dangerous on the counter-attack. Yeah. And they managed to get in behind Liverpool a few times and then got themselves back to 2-2. And at 2-2, if there was a team going to score, I thought it might have been Bournemouth. At the game, it felt like Bournemouth, but then we've just seen Chiesa score a wonderful goal there. I thought his technique to lean away and volley it into the corner of the net, and then they get the fourth. So it's a comfortable win, but it wasn't comfortable when you were sat there watching.
No, not at all. Now, one of the big plus points was the debut goal and all-round performance of Ugo Ekitike, who we were lucky enough to speak to afterwards. But what impressed you most about his debut in the Premier League?
Well, I was quite impressed. I went to Wembley to watch the Community Shield. I was impressed with his performance there. Scored a lovely goal as well.
Yeah, I was there. It was
lovely. It was
good.
He's got good shape, good size about him. He's strong. He's quick. He doesn't mind coming short. He doesn't mind going long. He looks like a bit of an all-rounder. We've picked out some of the best bits of him here as well, Steve, and I really liked him. I mean, let's just highlight where he is to start with. And this almost reminded me, Macca, of Firmino. And when you look at him drop in, the space here that he gives to Mo Salah, as it happens, he doesn't run into it here. But look at that. I mean, this is dreamland for Mo Salah.
I enjoy the fact that he likes taking the centre half underneath the ball as well.
Yeah.
So he's getting picked up. He's actually, rubbing in against the centre-back and then going towards the ball and just taking him under the ball, which then, as Michael's saying, it just leaves. Look at the space.
As it happens, he runs into his own space. But you watch, if he keeps doing that throughout the season, Steve, I'm sure Mo Salah will be licking his lips. And of course, then he has the vision just to play the ball down to that Gakpo. The attack doesn't come to anything in the end, but that's just a sign that he can come off. Here's another one here, dropping off. Good touch, good turn, aware of what's around him. And I like this as well. I mean, we can slow it down a little bit, but here he is here, and he's not loitering on the edge of the box like some strikers do. He's getting in there. That could have been his header. It could have come off the goalkeeper.
Imagine, Michael, this is very similar to where you were coached as a youngster. Come, join in with play, set, nice, clean touch, set it back to your midfielder, then
get in the box.
Get in the box.
It's for people like you, Macca, to come to the edge of the box.
It's a dream for a midfielder.
Yeah, and if I'm like hanging back, and you're behind me, it's like I'm taking your space. Let me get in the box. You
absolutely.
You've fallen behind. But so there's a little bit of his link-up play. Again, here he comes, laying the ball off. I like this little bit as well. Werther here coming in and just taking his place. That little exchange of positions could be good.
The other thing, Michael, I don't know if you agree with me, but I'm not here to have a go at Darwin Núñez, but he was a little bit untidy in his general play.
Absolutely.
Coming off to the ball like that, it would tend to stumble or lose possession. This guy looks a bit of an all-rounder. He's very confident getting in and joining the play there.
Yeah.
He makes the keeper sit down.
He does. It's a good finish. I mean, he gets a little bit of luck as well with it. But what about this one? Here he is. I love this. I mean, not that I would have done it, but this is him in the box here. Watch when the ball drops. And look at everybody else. Look at him galloping back past everybody.
It's like you, Michael.
It's totally the opposite to me.
That is sensational.
That's unbelievable. And now he doesn't get
a player.
Yeah, he doesn't get a tackle in the end. But if he keeps doing that, he's going to be
the furthest man back there. Isn't
incredible.
It?
That was absolutely incredible.
Watching that, it was like wow. Yeah, that's rare. You don't see that often.
Look at that for vision. I mean, he's looking the other way. Just take it back as the ball comes back in. Look at this for vision, and not just vision, but technique. Bang. I mean, that is just absolutely sensational. So he's showing lots of different bits to his game here, Steve, and I do like this as well. Again, we'll pick him up here. If I'm a centre forward, I don't really, in this position, and a wide player's about to get the ball, I don't really want to vacate a position where I can score a goal.
Yeah.
But do you know what?
Surprise.
No, absolutely.
Exactly. But this is really good. This is almost giving yourself to the team. This is a lovely position to take up. A fullback always wants to have that little ball that you can just drop into the feet. And then you get these runs around. Then people can move off you. Now, that intelligence, again, we spoke about Núñez before. He can cause havoc in a defence, but that little bit of intelligence like that, he would never have picked up a position.
But when Liverpool, especially when they're playing at home and they're coming up against teams that have got a real low block with loads of numbers, you need a little bounce pass. And sometimes the centre-forward has to come away from the middle of the goal just to come and link himself. And to move centre-backs, to take centre-backs out of that, rather than them just being planked right in the middle of the 6-yard box, only 12 yards out. He's got clever little deft movements. He's been really enjoyable to watch, and he is. He's an all-rounder.
I really like him. I think he's going to be a big hit at Anfield.
OK, so if you just press that for me there. The name Alexander Isak, of course, will not go away. Still a Newcastle United player as we stand here now, but it's got a couple of weeks to run this saga. So we thought we'd look at this because Arne Slot has publicly said he sees Ekitike as a 9, where he played on his debut and scored on Friday night. And roughly, their league starts before that age, which, of course, is Ekitike is 23 right now. He's almost 100 games by the age of 23. Just 3 goals less in less games than Isak had. You can see the minutes per goal are very similar, as in the other stats as well. He's obviously younger in years, but is he heading to the same sort of quality as this guy, do you feel?
Well, I don't know about you, Michael, but Isak is top.
Yeah.
We've been made more aware of Isak in the last 18 months. Obviously, what he's done at Newcastle. Prior to that, associated, we've seen a little bit, some obviously aware of Etikiti's, background and his resume. But looking at these numbers, if these are 2 top strikers.
Very similar, aren't they?
Very similar.
These are very similar in terms of numbers. I mean, this is a bit of a discrepancy, but apart from that, and of course, Ekitike's been playing in a different league, and he's, Isak's probably been having it a little bit tougher, let's say. But that's a. But
we're just talking about those little bits of build-up and coming to play in the opponent's box against low blocks. Look at the touches the pair of them have got inside the box. They're doing all the work in there, aren't they?
So, if Ekitike is a 9, and if he's so promising, going to be that good, do they need Alexander Isak?
Well, maybe less so than they thought ago, let's say. Maybe less
Possibly.
so. But when you think the tragic circumstances with Diogo Jota, and then they've chosen to let Núñez go and Diaz go, there's 3 attacking players, top attacking players out the team, and nobody really to replace. So as much as you think, right, well, where will anybody get in? I mean, who can replace Mo Salah? Who can replace Cody Gakpo at the moment? He's fantastic the last season. And then, of course, Ekitike, that's just come in and done particularly well and cost an absolute fortune.
They've always had 5, haven't they?
And that's what I'm saying. So it's all right saying, where will anybody fit? But this day and age, so many games, injuries, etc., they're going to need good players.
Yeah, but equipping yourself for FA Cup, Carabao Cup, obviously Champions League, and our league is so difficult. The level of the games and the physical aspect of the Premier League, you need to be able to change.
OK, so this situation is going on. This is the latest from Eddie Howe after the game at Aston Villa. The door is well and truly open, he said, but he needs to decide what he wants to do. We'd like a resolution. We need that clarity. I'm not in control of it. Only one person is. I've made my stance pretty clear.
I can totally understand the comments of Eddie Howe.
Yeah, because you've been a manager and an assistant manager.
And the guy's a top player. There's no doubt about that. And
what about the way he's conducted himself?
It's not been great, but it's pretty clear that even the way he's conducted himself, that he still would welcome him back in the changing room. Whether his teammates would bring him, that's the big question.
Yeah.
Because he's chosen not to turn up or not. The stories and rumour and speculation, we hear that he doesn't want to train, doesn't want to play. If that's the case, it's very hard to win back your teammates. That would be the big fear for me as a player trying to go back into.
What have you made of Alexander Isak's behaviour? Well,
for starters, Steve, the first paragraph there, the door is well and truly open, but Isak needs to decide what he wants to do. Well, he has decided.
Which is what?
We all know that he wants to leave. Yeah. And that's why he's having this stance.
Has he gone about it in the right way?
No. And I will not condone a player refusing to. But what I don't agree with is all these ex-players coming out, you know, sticking up for the club, sticking up for this, that and the other, all having a go at Isak. They all would have done exactly the same, all of them. He's not a bad person. He's not a bad lad. He didn't come into this situation and said, right, I'm never going to train again, you know, unless... He would have said to Eddie Howe, if reports are right, he would have said to Eddie Howe towards the end of last season, the opportunity arises, I'd like to go to a team like Liverpool. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I'm pretty sure he would have gone about it the right way to start with. But the more and more you're prevented from doing something that you think would be so good for you in your career, the more and more desperation hits, the more and more your agent says, right, mate, the only way you're contracted, the only way, if you're so desperate to play for a club like Liverpool, and why wouldn't he be, then the only way is you're going to have to make some noises. You're going to have to do whatever. Go and see the manager. If he won't let you, you're going to have to refuse to play or whatever. Now, I'm not condoning that. But any player out there that starts saying, oh, you know, this is a disgrace and whatever, and I've listened to loads of them, and I feel like throwing something at the television because I don't condone anybody refusing to play. But what I also don't condone is football clubs themselves, when it's the other way round. When somebody signs somebody on a 3-year contract, they're not doing so well. If Isak was playing rubbish, they might be trying to get rid of him. They'll be threatening him to, right, you're playing the reserves. If you don't go, we want to sell you. If you don't go, I'm going to make your life a misery. Yeah. Nobody remembers all these, Steve. This happens 9 out of 10 transfers.
This situation is not going to go away. I think this is going to be part of the wheeling and dealing between clubs.
This is a big negotiation. At the highest level, so it's getting in the papers.
Would you think
but most of the time, Steve, it's the clubs on the players. If you were a Newcastle
teammate of his strike partner, that he's just helped you win their first major trophy in over 60 years?
Of course, you'd be disappointed, but the beauty of football...
You wouldn't think like that, though, would you?
I'd be disappointed if he was a great player. I'd want to keep him because we got a chance of winning more. Of course you would. But this isn't new. This has happened since football was invented, good players going to the best teams. And if it wasn't, we'd have a boring competition.
But do you understand Newcastle's stance? They're not going to roll over.
Exactly.
Say again, Gary, sorry?
That move might never have...
This is his one chance.
You don't know.
He's worked all his life for this type of chance.
You know, what about the club who bought him, nurtured him,
absolutely,
given him the contract? Eddie Howe, who's coached him and made him better.
Yeah. Not done bad for them, though, has he? Won them the first trophy, made them double their money.
You understand them not going to roll over and just say, yeah, have him.
I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm sick and tired of players coming on
It should get to a number then, because it does need a resolution. I think for all parties concerned, the best outcome is for it to end, because it's this fella's having to face questions every single day. Yeah. So, he's having to get into a changing room as well.
But equally, he's not going to let him through the door and leave himself without any centre forwards. They're in the Champions League as well.
No, absolutely.
And that's why.
So get the right fee, and then they've got recruitment guys as well who have given Eddie probably 3 or 4 names. So it's, the quicker it all sorts itself out, the better. I think it's best for everybody.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It would be perfect, but it's not ideal in any way, shape or form. But all I'm saying, and I'm not condoning it, is there's 2 sides to every story, Steve. And most of the time, it's the football club that actually threaten the player. I've seen it myself. I've been there. I've had lots of friends. On the 1 or 2 occasions a year that we hear of, oh, a player's got a bit of power here because he's done really, really well, and now he's in demand. When it's the other side of the story, the whole world goes into meltdown. Everybody comes in and hammers the player and backs the club and things like that. And I've seen it, and I can't stand it because it's a two-way thing, this is. And as I say, not that I'm condoning his behaviour, but I'm just putting it out there that this happens a lot the other way round as well. So it's not all bad on football players.